How you doing, everybody? Welcome to God Concept Podcast. Oh, I knew something was gonna happen. As soon as I let the tripod go, trying a different system out. That'll work. Cause leaning is good. Welcome back to another God Concept Podcast, where I'm your motherfucking host, Mr. Pagan, your host with the most, just in a random spot, conducting business, watching traffic flow and shit. It's crazy. Just every day, you know. Moving forward, moving on. You know what I mean? Hmm. I really didn't even have a topic for this episode. I just bought this fucking tripod and I was like, let me hook this bitch up and see how well it works. Sure, I'm gonna find out. I'm living a very surreal life. Maybe that could be the title of this episode. Surreal life. You know, people that I'm around on a daily basis. You know what I mean? I started a new job. I got new journeys and new side quests and all that shit that I'm going on. You know what I mean? Oh, shout out Logic too for his album Side Quest. It's on fire as fuck. I've been listening to Logic. He's saying new album fire as fuck. Tyler the Creator and of course Clip. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Just quick shout out to them. I'm gonna touch back on what music I've been listening to. But yeah, I'm living a surreal life, man. It's a very surreal life. You know what I mean? I'm building my foundation back. You know, I'm building this foundation I've been talking for a while about, and really, you know, staying focused on my life. You know what I mean? What I've been going through. But the surrealness is understanding that, you know, the people that you're around on a daily basis, right? They don't know what the fuck you go through. They don't know what I go through on a daily basis. Mentally, they may see me on a daily basis. You know, you may have people see you from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, right? Or, you know, in between those hours, they don't see you or know what you're even dealing with, what's on your plate. You know what I mean? Um, I've been through a fucking movie, man. It's like, you know, all of us, we living out, we're acting out our own movie, man. And it's surreal to me because I tend to look in hindsight on things and you know, figure out, connect the dots on this and that, man, and it's amazing. You know what I mean? You know, of course, we never give up. We never stop. You know what I mean? You always move forward in whatever, you know, whatever mission, whatever journey that you're on in life. You always move forward. But goddamn, man, you know, it just becomes overwhelming at times. You know what I mean? You get this anxiety, you get this imposter syndrome. Who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I really? Who am I here? Who am I doing this podcast? Am I doing this for me? Am I doing this for somebody else? You know what I mean? Am I doing this for a viewer? Am I doing this, you know what I mean? I do this to clear my mind, man. I do this to clear my mind, you know, occupy my time, document what I go through on a daily basis. Not just what I go through, like, you know what I mean, my situation. You know what I mean? Document my situation on different levels. You know what I mean? Current events. You know, it's all relative, man. You know, this world, everybody in this world is going through something. You know, it's changing. You know what I mean? Some people feel as if it's changing for the better, for the worse. I feel as if, you know, everybody is stepping into their own reality. You know what I mean? Reality. That word reality is deep. You know, rely to me. You know, rely to me. That's what someone else's reality is for you. You know what I mean? When somebody try to give you their perspective or their perception on life, right? And you accept that willingly, right? they're lying to you. You know what I mean? Because you already been lied to from the day you was born. This life is nothing that it appears. You know what I mean? That's what's surreal about it. You know what I mean? It's it's nothing that it appears. Your reality is everything that you make it. Anybody else's reality is subject to their own perspective, their own you know, point of view of life. You know, basically, your reality is what you make it, and that's the surreal thing about it. You know what I mean? What do I make it after years of my life being what somebody else made it for years? And a lot of people don't realize that. My song playing. A lot of people don't realize that their life is what somebody else made it. A lot of our lives are what somebody else make it. It's like you're supposed to live the first half of your life discovering what mission you're on, right? What journey you're on in life, right? Gaining that perspective, shaping that reality to what you want it to be. But your reality is being shaped by peers, parents, environment, what activities is available to you. It's a massive delusion, man. You know, all of us have our own realities that intertwine, but at the same time, they're not finite. They're not. It's not to the point where your reality is predicated upon mine and my reality is predicated upon yours. The thing is, you having a good reality can ultimately help the reality that I'm trying to build, right? And me having a good reality can ultimately help your reality that you're trying to build. But you got to get there. You got to discover that. You know what I mean? And you got to be, listen, there's evils in this world that act through me, that act through the environment, that act through other people and everything, man. And it's involuntary. It's not like a person will intentionally be evil. Those who work intentionally with it seem like they get repercussions and rewarded at all at the same time. If they know how to balance it, it's crazy. But I digress. I don't want to talk about that, man. Mm, it's surreal. It's very surreal, and you have to shape that reality. You have to know what you're able to do naturally. You know what I mean? Naturally, innately, something innately in you that only you have. I mean, not only you have. You know what I mean? But you can cultivate something. You know what I mean? That's innately in you that you can use to navigate through this, through this life, through this, you know, very spiritual reality that we're living in. You know what I mean? People gravitate towards politics, religion, and this and that. Religion right now is just subjective, right? And politics is up in the fucking air as well. You know what I mean? The only thing you really have is you and your own theocracy on life, what it's supposed to be, what it is to you. That's your reality. Yeah, man. But life is good, man. Either way, I've been through a lot of shit. And I can say that life is good, man. You know what I mean? If I could say that, you could say it too. I mean, if I could sit here on this podcast and tell you that life is good after all that I've been through and after all the shit that I've faced, you know, you could say it too. Life is really good, man. Butterflies flying past. I hope the camera caught that fucking butterfly. That joint was big as fuck. Big, beautiful motherfucking butterfly. Black and orange joint. But yeah, man. Y'all can't hear it, but I'm jamming like a motherfucker over here, man. I be wanting to do things and create things, but in the place that I am right now, it seems like it's not a good space. You know what I mean? It's not. That's why they take artists and put them in. You know what I mean? Some artists get what's that, groomed to be what they are, right? Most artists do, and they put them in a space where they're not bogged down with a lot of shit, so they can be freely creative. Because your creative side can be oppressed in many fucking ways. Just by your environment, by the people you're around. Man, you gotta realize the reality that you're going after, the reality that you're trying to place yourself in. A lot of people can't fathom that. They lost their imagination a long time ago. They lost that sense of imagination, so they can't imagine that reality that you're trying to get to. And that's when, you know, that good and evil battle that happens within you. That's when, without them realizing, it's like a switch that happens. Yeah, they feel as if they're doing good, they're doing this, but they speak evil things, and it's unintentional because evil things that is spoken is so commonplace now in society, right? So you'll speak evil on somebody's reality that they're going after. You know what I mean? That they're getting to. And I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? It's an obstacle. It's a hurdle. It's to see if you're going to persevere. I guess you could say that. But really, it's yeah, it is what it is. You can interpret it how you want to, and I interpret it how I want to. But they're stuck in this reality. They're stuck in a reality that you're in because you haven't reached the reality that you're going to. You see what I'm saying? Like they stuck in that reality. They're not gonna leave that reality because they can't think themselves past that reality. They'll think themselves into stealing shit from you, scheming this person, scheming that person, scheming doing this. And then that reality will become the outcome of whatever it is that they, thought themselves into. They wanted their reality to be a scammer, a good thief, this, that, a drug dealer, this or that, or hey, the reality of it is when you take those paths in life, you have certain outcomes. There's a systematic science to life. There's a systematic science to life. That's in everything. You know what I mean? The more science Temple of America teaches you that. There's systematic science to life. Scientology teaches you that on a different spectrum. All they did was take natural spirituality and flip it into Scientology, natural law, spiritual law, and they rolled it into Scientology. They put science to spirituality and came up with Scientology. And it's smart. It's very smart. You know what I mean? It's very, progressive, I should say, for somebody who want to be religious but not religious, or somebody that want to be spiritual and bring a scientific spin on it. Like somebody put a little spike of lime or something in their water. Like, right, it's all water, right? But then you add that little lime or that little lemon, and then it's just just adds a little flavor to it. That's all. That's all Scientology is. They adding a little flavor, a little spin, a little science to the drink of spirituality. Spirituality always been a drink that many people drunk from. You know what I mean? So, man, Scientology is doing that. My man seen me recording a podcast. He doing try to interrupt my shit because he in a binge deep talking about excuse me and shit. I'm recording, baby. Don't interrupt my shit because I ain't gonna come on your job and smack the fries out your motherfucking hand. Yeah, I don't care what you riding now. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Hey, man, you got to step into that reality. That's what I'm doing. I'm building my foundation so I can step into my reality. I'm building that foundation so I can step into the reality that my children should have been born in. And that's the hard part. You know what I mean? It's like the reality that I was the reality that I'm obtaining is the reality that my children should have been born in a long time ago. But for different reasons, through hate that I should have never been subject to, through different traumatic events in life, through a lot of things, that reality is not obtained yet, right? I haven't arrived at the reality that I'm chasing. right? That the reality, the end goal. I haven't arrived there because life, you know what I mean? And all of us got that. We just got to be strong. And I get emotional when I talk about this because I witness people living a reality that's not really theirs. They live in a reality of addiction, a reality of pain, hurt, a reality of abuse. You know what I mean? On all different levels. They got to get their reality. But the reality of it is they'll never get there because they're stuck somewhere that they're not supposed to be. Their perception, their outlook on everything, on life itself, on whatever it was, on their situation, took them to a place that they can't escape. That reality. That's the reality that a lot of people are stuck in. That's the reality I'm not trying to be a part of. I'm sick of being a part of somebody's reality. That's fucked up. It's like I don't want to separate myself, but at the same time, that's not my reality. And if you living in that reality, I can't be a part of it. I can't be a part of you. I can't be in your circle. Now, when I get to the reality that I'm going to, the reality that I'm building, you know what I mean? It's like, then we could hook up. Then maybe I could change your fucking life. Maybe I could help change the reality that you built for yourself or that somebody built for you. Because a lot of times our reality is very much fabricated by our environment, by the very people that we grow up under, by the very people we grow up under. And that's when it becomes surreal. When you realize that your reality isn't yours. You realize that shit. You be like, wow, I've been living my life for this, for that, for this one, for that one. When am I going to start living my life for me? When am I going to do the things that ultimately I was supposed to do in my life? When is my environment going to participate in me reaching my reality? Paul's doing that intensely, man. When is my environment going to help me reach my reality? Because my reality will ultimately help a lot of people, right? A lot of our realities, a lot of our dreams, our goals, our aspirations will help our immediate environment, our family, our wife, our cousins, our uncles, our aunts, our sisters, our brothers, our moms, our dads, our grandparents, you know what I mean? Grandfather, grandmother. But a lot of times you don't got that participation in that reality that you chasing. That was my girl. She did really fast. She cool as shit. Sometimes you don't got the the participation in the reality that you chasing, and it's fucked up. It's a fucked up dichotomy that we living in because the very people that you chasing this reality for. I mean, because you're not, this reality isn't there because right. It's not a thought because it's not obtainable, right? It's a thought because it is obtainable. It's your reality, but you have to get there, right? And the very people that you're trying to help, you know what I mean, in your mind, because people that have dreams and goals and aspirations, right? We intend to help others, right? I mean, I do anyway. I don't think of getting there so I can shit on people and this and that. I mean, some people you do want to shit on because they deserve it, so that way they can learn their lesson. But you want to get there to help people. You want to get there to help all the people that's holding you back from getting to that reality. And that's hard. That's heavy. That's some heavy shit to deal with when you realize that they really just they don't understand that, if they're not helping you, they're hurting you in a way. If they're not saying encouraging words, then they're taking away from the courage that you have to try to get somewhere that's different from anywhere else. Like anywhere that they've probably gotten to, anywhere it's yeah. I figured it out. I figured it out. It took a lot of hardships and hurt and things like that. But I figured it out. And you know, Man, I got so many battles ahead of me. It's not even fucking funny. But every battle draws me closer to that reality. Every small victory that I have, because it's not like I haven't been winning any battles that I've been facing, any, you know what I mean, adversity, any hurdles that's been placed in front of my way. Oh, best believe I've been getting over. Um, just got to think, continue to maintain that mental fortitude, that spiritual fortitude, and maintain that physical fortitude, man. Because the reality of it is, man, where I'm at, the place I'm at, man, I mean, I thank God for it because I could be somewhere and not have nothing. I could be sleeping in a park on a fucking bench or in a tent somewhere. I could be in a way worse situation, but I have somewhere. But you know, the food isn't the healthiest and things like that. So I got to make conscious decisions to go out and get healthy fucking food to make sure that physically, you know, I'm, you know what I mean, staying fit or whatever. Because I gained a little bit of weight, you know what I mean, over like the past, you know, 3 months or whatever. Still, I was still like 6 months ago, I was like 185, and now I look at the scale and I'm looking at 202. You know what I mean? So I done gained some weight. I lost some weight, and I was on here talking about walking my way back to health and things like that. Well, yeah, I gotta do way more than just walk myself back to health. I gotta start working out again, man. I was in a slump. I was in a fucking slump, man. Um, I gotta start working out again. I just gotta keep continue to eat healthy. This whole week I've been eating nothing but salads and everything, and you know what I mean. I feel the difference. I feel the difference in how energetic I am, how I can move around and things like that. You know, yeah, you know, I did start working a new job or whatever, so that's helping out, you know what I mean, a lot with my you know, personal like how I feel on a daily basis because I actually have something besides my own things to do on a daily basis. It's like, yeah, I gotta do my podcast, I gotta continue to write books, I gotta continue to do music, but I gotta also have something to, you know what I mean? Because I'm not the reality I'm going after. Okay, it's the reality I'm living in versus the reality that I'm heading towards, right? And it's not just me trying to head there. It's like where I'm being pushed to. You know what I mean? It's like I started this creative journey. It's one that I've been wanting to one a creative journey that I've always been on, right? Always been creative, DJing and shit like that when I was younger, right? Even whatever, right? The whole thing is I forgot where I was going. Yeah, this reality has to catch up with that reality. I gotta live in this reality as if I'm already there. You know what I mean? I want to just be healthy for my fucking family, man. I just want to be there for my children and shit like that. I got a lot of shit that I'm facing, cases, this and that. You know what I mean? Cases pending. Nothing that nothing that I did wrong. You know what I mean? I was exploited. I was exploited just like a lot of you are exploited every day, and I know for a fact you are. And you know, you're exploited and taken advantage of, and corralled and cattled, and a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of shit going on in y'all lives that y'all don't even like. Some people might watch this podcast and understand exactly what I'm going through, but some people just won't get it. They'll be like, "This nigga full of shit. This nigga is a liar." No, I'm not lying about shit. I'm not lying about shit. It's just, man, you don't realize once you understand certain things, you like, damn, you see life differently. You start taking life differently. You just start looking at shit from a whole different perspective. You know what I mean? And it's okay. It's okay when you realize that that type of shit is going on and that type of shit is possible. You know what I mean? It's like you just got to continue moving. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, and then it changed into something else. I don't fucking know. I don't really give a fuck neither, but man, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Mm. How long this podcast been going? pop before my motherfucking screen. I hope I don't fuck my mouth. Yeah, it's still around the corner, about open now. So that's the shit I like to do, man. Just being in a creative space, man. Every morning I want to just take time to do something creative. I just got to get all my little gadgets and gadgets right, because I'm like more of a freelance creative right now. I'm freelance creating. So I just be anywhere, pop up, and just decide to do a podcast. Yeah, I mean, try to create in any atmosphere environment. It's, it's just trifling, man. It's just trifling, and you don't want to create anything and not okay. It's going to be imperfections in everything that you create, right? That's just a thing in life. There's imperfections in everything, but you want to try to eliminate as many imperfections as possible, right? So the foundation I'm building now is basically one where I can I can have creative reign on my space, like just my own freedom, just to studio and just do what the fuck I want to do in that studio. You know what I mean? And just be as creative and as free as possible in that space. And it's not just for me, for my daughter as well. You know what I mean? Because she has a lot of talent. My son as well, he has a lot of talent. You know what I mean? They can have a little studio slash room or whatever the fuck, so that way they could create in however they want to do it. I mean, it's what we deserve to do. You know, I touched on I posted something on Facebook or some shit like that about me coming out with couple book series. I even mentioned it on this podcast. I'm coming out with a few. You know, I'm putting a new edition into well, volume two, I guess, of the course of my life. Um, I want to start a children's series of books and you know, another series of books. So that's in the works. Just appreciative, man. you know, I got a sense of normalcy or whatever. You know what I mean? I told you it's the real life that I live. The shit that I've been through was very fucking eye opening, very fucking awakening. You know, very rude awakening in a way. You know what I mean? Oh, that's where I was. I was talking about exploitation and shit. But yeah, yeah, man. Once you get awakened to the fact that that we're all being exploited in a way, you gotta get out of that shit. The only way to get out of that shit is by getting some fucking money. Yeah, getting some fucking money. Putting your foot on the neck of the ones that's trying to put their foot on your neck. I don't want, I don't think the foot should be on anybody's neck. But nobody's foot be on anybody's fucking neck. It's a nice fucking juice. I've been doing it big though. I've been doing it big. You see that? I ain't got on the bucket hat no more. Shit, I got this New Balance hat on because I got some New Balance shoes on, man. My feet was fucked up, man. My feet was hurting so fucking bad, and I got a big ass horn on the bottom of my right foot. That motherfucker be hurting sometimes. I can't have no fucked up footwear on and shit. And on top of that, they was a half size too small. See, normally my boots are 11, so I put, you know what I mean. Shit, I don't know better. I'm buying sneakers the same size I got my boots, cause boots run bigger and run around my feet feel like it balled the fuck up. I said, oh my god, I had to go get me some footwear. I ain't putting no Nikes on my feet again. I tell you that. I'm fucking with my stand and everything, fucking with this thing, yeah. But I'm not putting no Nikes on my feet. New Balance from now on. Fuck that. Yeah, man. But musically, I'm listening to some shit right now. But yeah, man, Clips, that new album is fire. I'm not, see, I don't mind showing love or giving people shouts out on my platform or whatever. Clips, You put your motherfucking foot in that album. So did Pharrell. Y'all did it. It's a masterpiece. Two Chainz and The Alchemist. Y'all motherfuckers put together a dope ass album too. It's nice and laid back. Every track is wrapped up like a piece of candy. You know what I mean? It got a melody to it, got that you know what I mean, that grittiness to it and that melodiness. I mean, it got everything that it you know, so you wrapped it up like a candy bar. You know what I mean? Every track, candy bar. Like it. I ain't hear Tyler creating the album. I heard everything that people be playing. He got it going on. But that's been my episode of God Concept Podcast. Let's just say reconnecting for some reason. That's my episode anyway. About to call this one a wrap. Thank you for joining me on God Concept Podcast. I've been your host, Mr. Pagan. Please go out and support the book, the music, the literature, whatever. Pretty soon I got an event date coming up. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's a private event, but it's on my daughter's birthday, which is crazy to me because I lost my grandmother on my daughter's birthday, November 1st. Um, and to have a private event coming up on November 1st, where I'll be performing or whatever, it's kind of like eerie. It's kind of weird. I'm excited. I just want to, I'm trying to make sure that I got everything that I need for November 1st. I want to have books available. I want to have shirts or whatever. I want to have, a little drive with some music on there so people could take with them and download or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So I got a lot of work to do on my part, you know what I mean? I want to be prepared when I go somewhere to perform, you know what I mean? Because I'm going there to, you know what I mean? It's like, you gotta have a different persona. So I want to go there in that persona, you know what I mean? To have that persona and have everything prepared right, you know what I mean? Merchandise, books, the album thing or whatever that people could purchase. I perform, you know what I mean? Everything goes smoothly and I get the fuck out of there, get back home and do what I got to do from there. So, you know, yeah, I want to tell everybody out there, safe travels. And I appreciate you for joining me on this podcast journey and life itself, man. Yeah. Enjoy your surrealness because it will consume you if you don't. All right, peace. Thank you for joining me. Please go out there and support my content. It's been another episode of God Concept Podcast. Well, I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. Till the next time, peace.